Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Cantor. Again, Shana Tova. So before I start, like a good Jewish mother, after Rosh Hashanah services, my mother texted and said, your tallis is not even. So, Mom, does this work? Hopefully it's good. I will get a text about that, I promise you. This being the second half of our doubleheader here in the stadium, I want to give a thanks again to the Califer family, Brian Awicki, and the Somerset Patriots baseball organization. Without them, we could not have been together in the community during these high holy days. Thank you. So this speech was actually tougher than last to write, to the point where I was actually making edits this morning, knowing it was going to be my last chance to actually speak. I absolutely love this, for those who know me well enough. It's wonderful, wonderful to be in a baseball diamond with the Jewish purpose on Yom Kippur. This year, we've added a new pitch to our repertoire, or maybe a pinch hitter, I don't know. In most years, we've had a traditional Kol Nidre speaker, giving unique perspectives on how our Temple Har Shalom community supports them, and asking us to collectively support our community through our annual appeal. This year, of course, is anything but traditional. Instead, we are here today to do something quite different, but still as meaningful as part of our appeal. Today, we have a simple call to action. As many of you know, we are a congregation in transition. While true of many religious organizations, we are unique in that we are celebrating our 50th anniversary while also wishing Cantor well in her retirement from the cantorate. Thus, as some of you know, we brought in the national expert in synagogue transition and change, Rabbi David Wolfman. Rabbi Wolfman's expense was underwritten by anonymous donors, and his role is to help us assess who we are, who we aren't, and who we should aspire to be today, tomorrow, 5, 10 years down the road, even further. In other words, Rabbi Wolfman is here to help us understand our why. Why should Temple Har Shalom continue to exist? And our how to effectuate that mission. For those who've been around the halls long enough in Temple Har Shalom with our wonderful rabbi, she repeatedly asks, what's our mission and what are we doing to fulfill that mission? This step today that we announce will allow all of you to be heavily involved in how we answer that question. Rabbi Wolfman, for those of you who have spoken with him, is able to speak free from the burdens of any particular legacy within our community because he is a true outsider. He has begun these conversations on a confidential basis already and has reported back with certain themes and opportunities. Those conversations were phase 1 of our collective mission. David, of course, was hired pre-COVID, and we've had to adjust the traditional playbook. Therefore, today, I'm announcing phase 2 of David's assessment. It's an exciting experiment. And as I mentioned, it involves all of us because everyone in this community needs to have their voices heard. 50 years ago, a small group of founding families convened with a simple wish: to practice Judaism together in our corner of Somerset County. Not only was that wish fulfilled, but Temple Har Shalom now draws members from more than 14 different communities within Somerset, Union, and Morris counties. Therefore, we are thrilled to announce the iWish campaign. And we want you, every single one of you, whether here today, whether watching us remotely, whether receiving the email that will follow, to tell Rabbi Wolfman on a confidential basis your wishes for Temple Har Shalom. This process is really simple, but incredibly important. We're going to put on the board again, Josh will throw it up there. We will want everyone to email to iWish@gmail.com. Don't worry, they said there will be an email. The address on the scoreboard will go directly to Rabbi Wolfman. It will not come to us. Obviously, don't do it today. Certainly don't do it before you've had something to eat, because we don't want feedback on an empty stomach. But please, thank you for laughing. Please do it in the next week or so, because we do want to move this forward, and this is our chance to do so. Tell Rabbi Wolfman your wishes for Temple Har Shalom, who we can and should be 5, 10, or even more years from now. You are the general manager. Focus on the big picture, not the day-to-day changes. What should be our core competencies as a community? Where should we seek to excel? Where, frankly, should we not put our energies? You may tell us, everything's great, continue exactly what you're doing. We will assume that's spam. You will have comments. We want to hear them. Please tell us. This is incredibly important. Whatever you wish, we need to know. When you email iWish@gmail.com, neither Rabbi nor I will see your communication. It is Rabbi Wolfman's job to sift and winnow our collective wishes and regroup with what our community tells him. From there, we'll enter the exciting phase 3, where we make an action plan based upon what you tell us. And because leaders should lead from the front, I will share my wish with 1,000 of you in person and live streaming across the globe. When I took over the presidency, I did my own assessment of our strengths and weaknesses, our opportunities and threats. Then I set about, most importantly, to empower our clergy, our professional staff, and our lay leaders to make our community thrive. They did that in far greater ways than I could have imagined. When I speak of us as a community acting from a position of strength, we can only do that now because of what our magnificent people have done for us. One area that our people behind the scenes cannot solve for us, and one area where we can separate ourselves from every Jewish institution near and far, is fiscally. A Jewish organization that is wise with its dollars but does not have to pinch pennies has the freedom and flexibility to honor the past, secure the future, and help answer our why. My wish is that we can be here this time next year, whether we're physically here or back in the sanctuary. As some of you know, our treasurer, Rob Cohen, has done wonders to organize and analyze our books to help us understand our membership and our collective investment in ourselves. Because when we give, when we donate, we are giving back to ourselves. And there are 3 incredibly clear fiscal matters. First, shockingly enough, last year was a wildly successful year fiscally. Between our members raising investment levels, a vibrant and income-producing preschool, and frankly, COVID-related grants, we ended the year doing better fiscally than we have in a long, long time. Second, however, because of COVID, we know that some in our community no longer have the means to support us in the way they previously could. So for those who reinvested as members, thank you. For those who upped their investment level, knowing how much we would need to help each other this year, thank you even more. And for our upholders, our guardians, and our sustainers, thank you for leading the way. Therefore, this year's Kol Nidre appeal is absolutely essential to secure our budget and help those in our community who could not give as planned. On the big board, okay, so this is going to be an experiment now, just to be clear. On the big board, we're going to put up a link and a QR code. I haven't gotten permission, but I'm going to give everyone permission right now, I'll tell them, to pull out their phones. I want you to put your camera on the QR code. I'm hoping it's going to work. Josh Greenbaum, by the way, has promised this would absolutely work, so Any issues, not iWish@gmail.com. It's Josh at whatever his email address is. Please pull up the QR code. I'll give everybody a second to pull out their phones and do it. What I want you to do is go to that QR code, and beautifully enough, with today's modern technology, we can go right to our pledge page. For those who are comfortable doing so, please do so now. Include your name, include your pledge, so that we can make this year's Nidre appeal that much larger than last year's to help support those who can't do so this year. And obviously for those who are either not comfortable doing so, technologically challenged, I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback, or not on site, we will be sending out information as well for how you can donate. The short way for those listening at home is cut.ly, CUTT.ly/Kolnidre, KOLNIDRE. I'll give everybody a minute here. I still see some pictures being taken. Thank you very much for doing so. For those who already gave prior to today, I thank you as well. Okay. I see some folks typing on phones. That will be allowed to continue. However, I will not wait for any more pictures to be taken. As you've heard Rob say before, for those who can give more while you're on your phones or the website, please give more. For those who can give less, please give less, but give what you can. And most importantly, understand this year more than others, you truly are supporting those in your community who need the help. Thank you. Third, and finally, for our long-term fiscal stability, as I've mentioned before, our greatest fiscal opportunity is to pay off our mortgage. We pay $180,000 a year toward a mortgage in a budget that, excluding early education, is around $1.25 million. In other words, 15% of our dollars every year annually goes to pay TD Bank. I want to pay enough. If that filled our coffers instead, we would build an incredible base to secure our future and to answer and support our why. We know with a paid-off mortgage, we will protect years and years of Temple Har Shalom service to our community, to the multiple counties and numerous municipalities around us. So I'm thrilled finally to announce the Kol Echad matching donor campaign. Kol Echad means together because we will do this together, because we can and we should and we will do this together. After the upcoming change in the calendar year, we'll be coming to ask you for your support in freeing us from the one legacy financial burden that we have. It was necessary to have. It helped us grow the way we've grown, magnificently so, but it is time to move past. Most importantly, every dollar donated in this campaign will be matched by a group of donors, some of whom have already pledged, and some will still be pledging. So in this most unusual of times, as I said at the beginning, we have a simple call to action. First, tell us who you want us to be. Give us your wishes. Then, for those who can, support us this year, and if you can, more so in the past, particularly to help those amongst us who could not support us in the same way as prior years. And finally, as we look ahead, be prepared and excited for Kol Echad. As we come together, as we pair our legacy with our future, we can become a beacon for Jewish institutions all around us. Thank you again so so much. Shana Tova.